Hi, I'm Drake Garibay, the Senior Systems Engineer for ReasonableITService.com. We do educational and entertaining videos on information technology. We also offer professional IT support services for your business at affordable rates. Today I want to talk about Spiceworks on-premises help desk ticketing system. Unfortunately, it was deprecated back in 2022. Along with that deprecation, they killed your ability to create new users in your own self-hosted ticketing system. Spiceworks has moved on from this product and they are shifting all their focus towards their cloud ticketing system product now. Their whole shebang, they're going all cloud now. They've bought into this ridiculous idea of cloud only everything. This video is not going to be a rant about my personal feelings about that decision. Today I'm going to show you how you can manually create new users in your Spiceworks on-premises help desk ticketing system. In order to manually create these new users, you are going to need to modify the SQL database directly, and thus you will need a SQL database browser application in order to write to the database. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Reasonable IT.
We need a way to modify the SQL database directly, and we can do that with a tool like DB Browser for SQLite. It's a free tool, highly recommend it. You can download a copy over at sqlitebrowser.org/DL. They have a Windows 64-bit installer. If you don't feel like installing anything, they do offer a portable version as well. Let's go ahead and start Spiceworks Desktop. Log in if you aren't already. Go to Settings in the top right corner. Go over to User Accounts. Normally you would click this Add User button to create new users, but that button doesn't work anymore. So we're going to have to go manipulate the database directly. However, what I did not mention previously is that please back up your existing Spiceworks database, which should be located in prog files x86, Spiceworks, and this DB folder right here. Just simply make a copy of it. Put it on a thumb drive, external drive, server share. I don't care what you do. Just make a backup of it, because if you all screw up your Spiceworks database, I don't want you coming after me, all right? You're doing all this at your own risk. But trust me, and seriously, if you guys follow these directions exactly, you will be okay. So with that little disclaimer out of the way, let's move on. And I'm going to fire up my DB browser for SQLite. Ignore that, go to Open Database, browse to your Spiceworks database, which as I mentioned is in prog files x86 Spiceworks DB folder, and you want to load up the Spiceworks_prod.db. That's the main one there. Go over to Browse Data, and the table we're looking for, click this drop down, you're going to type out users, should take you straight to that table, load that up, and as you can see, it correlates with what we were seeing on the front end, which is just the one user account. Now, the quickest and easiest way to do this is to simply right click on the row and duplicate that data. So you're gonna have to right click on the actual row number, because if you don't get the duplicate option. So I'm gonna right click on this too, and I'm gonna go to duplicate record. Ta-da! We have successfully created a new user, or actually we duplicated a user. But no worries, all you need to do is just modify these parameters to whatever you want. And the other thing to keep in mind, yes, I know that John Bravo is now going to have the same password as myself, and obviously you may not want that. You're going to want unique passwords. So in order to combat that, you have to insert a hashed password here. In other words, you can't just come in here and type out the user's new password, right? That's 100% not going to work, because the passwords are hashed while they're stored in the database. So you need to hash this password. Well, first of all, you need to get a stronger password if your password is anything even close to this. So when you have your password figured out, use some tool to hash it for you. You can try ChatGPT. You have to have something that can correctly hash that password for you. Once you have that password hash, that is what you put in here. So if you scroll to the right though, there might be a few other parameters that you'd be interested in changing for these newly created users, such as title, department, the type of account. That is really about it, my friend. Once you have all your changes set, you're going to click this button, Write Changes, and this updates in the database immediately. If I go back to the users page on my Spiceworks Help Desk front end and I refresh the page, you can see John Bravo is now a newly created user, a fully active user. This account is no longer waiting for an invite or needs to verify an email, none of that. It's ready to go, and he'll get emails and ticket notifications, so on and so forth, assuming you have all that set up. If we sign out, let's go ahead and test this out. And voila, I am signed in as John Bravo now, my newly created user.